is Step 1 with Freddie Wilson. Welcome to another episode of Step 1. I am Freddie Wilson. As a reminder, you can find every episode of Step 1 on Spotify and YouTube. If you want to see more Step 1, give me a follow on Instagram at Step 1 with Freddie Wilson and Twitter at Step 1 Podcasts. We got a great show for you today. My good friend Jermey Spiera is joining the show to talk about our adventure at the Heisman ceremony. Also, we got a wild weekend of the NFL to recap and some exciting games to preview. All right, let's ride. It was a chaotic weekend of the NFL. It all started Thursday with the Buccaneers losing to the Falcons. Full disclosure, I fell asleep during the game, but when I was watching, I assumed the Buccaneers were going to win. But the Falcons came back, and now the NFC South is a mess. The Panthers have a chance to win a division. This is why I love football. Moving to Sunday, the Kansas City Chiefs are not going to the playoffs and lose Patrick Mahomes as well. All good things have to come to an end, and I don't think the Chiefs are going to be down for long, but a bad season was eventually bound to happen. This level of success was not sustainable. The Buffalo Bills keep their playoff hopes alive with a comeback win against the Patriots. Patriots got off to an early lead, but Josh Allen is Josh Allen, and the Bills were able to get the win. Moving the afternoon, Philip Rivers returns for the Colts, but it wasn't enough to beat the red-hot Seahawks. The Rams stay hot as well, getting a big win against the Lions. And let's talk about the Packers game. I missed most of the second half because I was traveling back from New York, but the Broncos are really good. And I've said it from day one of this podcast. I think I said this in episode 1. Bo Nix is a god amongst men. As for the Packers, the injury to Michael Parsons blows, but as long as Jordan Love is throwing the ball on offense, I think we still have a chance to make a playoff run. I'm optimistic about the Packers. On Sunday night, I did not watch it because I was on a train, but the Vikings got a win against the Cowboys, and now the Cowboys are out of playoff contention. So thank you, Vikings, for eliminating the Cowboys. And on Monday night, a game I also did not watch because why would I watch this game? The Miami Dolphins proved they can't play in a cold as they got dominated by the Steelers. The Dolphins are a mess. I've said all season. I'm excited to see how Quinn Ewers does now that they're starting him over Tua, but it's not a good time to be a Dolphins fan. And now let's get to my interview with Jermey Spiera. Today we welcome on a very special guest, a reoccurring guest, here to talk about our Heisman adventure. Jermey Spiera, how are you doing?
Great. It's been a while since I've been on. Apparently,
It
you don't
has
like
been a
me
while. You
anymore,
haven't
but
been
I'm
on since
excited.
last year. It's been
Yeah.
a hot minute, but we went to the Heisman this weekend. Did you get the feel when you were there, like, how the hell did I end up here? This is way too cool.
Yeah, a little bit. Also, I was, your plus one, so I felt even less connected than you.
The whole time there, I'm like, and I've been before. I'm just like, this is way too cool.
I mean, nothing cooler than great food, open bar, and Johnny Manziel talking about God.
It was Tim Tebow, but
Did I say mine? Yeah, of
you
course.
said Manziel.
Those the two guys who've been on my mind the whole week, okay?
Tebow's the nicest person.
Yeah.
Like he, the first time I ever met him, I didn't tell you this because I was hoping you would get the same experience when you met him for the first time. But like the first time I ever met him, which was 2 years ago, like he looks you dead in the eye, makes sure he gets your name right. He's like, Freddie, good to meet you. Like gets it right first time. Doesn't say like Eddie. None of that nonsense. Just knows how to pronounce your name.
How many people are calling you Eddie where that's your metric of a nice guy?
Uh, sometimes I don't pronounce. Sometimes when I say Freddie, I say it too quietly, which is weird because I'm a loud guy. But I'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, Freddie." They're like, "Eddie." I'm like, "No." They're like, "Friday."
But no, he was a good guy. We got a great photo. You look great, Freddie. Your beard and hair, and it all worked out.
The bow tie.
Oh yeah, can't forget about that bow tie. Got to wear one of them next episode.
I don't usually dress up for the NBA preview, which I did not do this year. All right, but yeah, no, it was a cool experience. Just getting to go again, meeting some cool people. Like, again, the food was awesome.
Yeah, who's your favorite person that we met?
I mean, Doug Flutie's always a Ryan. Doug
Yeah, he was
Flutie,
awesome.
Johnny Rogers, the Johnny Rogers BB story was priceless. So
Yeah.
Johnny Rogers like gets up. They're like had a panel like at the like brunch for next day, and he was talking about his dedication of a craft or something, and how he used to catch BBs in his backyard. And then Eric Crouch was like, "No way is that true." I
Hey,
mean, we can't verify it. We weren't there, but
look, trust but verify. You know, he's a pretty good player, but I'm waiting to see the film, and maybe he can recreate one now. He doesn't have to catch all of them.
he's in
Just
this.
believe that he's
He's
willing to face the
70 years
BB.
old.
I never said he has to catch him. I just said he has to be willing to try.
I mean, I've never really thought about trying to. They go BBs go pretty fast, right?
If you want, I will shoot a BB gun at you and see if you can
Just see
catch
that catch a
him.
BB. But yeah, no, those are some of like Flutie talking about dunking on kids on cruise
Yeah.
ships.
Um, it was kind of cool seeing the some of the old heads, some of the people that, were awesome and we didn't think about. It was also just fun looking at for like the list of former Heismans and some of the guys like Chris Weinke's 25th,
Yeah,
uh, and finding out that the people he won it over were, I don't remember who the third person was, but the first two were Drew Brees and LaDainian Tomlinson.
yeah.
So how like crazy this like unbelievably prestigious award is, but also how like random it is because Weinke was good. He was really good. Drew Brees and LaDainian Tomlinson are two all-time greats. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And the fact that Wanky was 28 when he won it, it was wild.
Yeah, I think I would do pretty well in Pee Wee football today. So
Just go back to you still are eligible for Pee Wee football.
yeah, just start shouldering these 12-year-olds. It would be awesome.
But yeah, I also like meeting some of the media people like Marty Smith, like hearing about the whole Lane Kiffin saga and how he like didn't sleep for 24 hours just waiting for them to tell him whether or not Lane Kiffin was going to stay or go. Like
Hmm.
that's dedication to your job right there.
That is, I will say it's a pretty fun job to be dedicated to.
It is, but being trapped in Oxford, Mississippi for 24 hours is not the best part of your job.
Look, I've been stuck in different places for less. Like when I went to the Final Four last year and was stuck in San Antonio just because I was too lazy to wake up and take a 5 a.m. flight the day after the Duke game, and then there was no other flights available for like 3 or 4 days.
Oof.
So you
It's not
get
the worst place to
yeah.
be stuck. Come on, the Alamo.
The Alamo is like a tiny building. It's 2 stories, and it was historic, but nothing really to see. You literally just go there and you walk it in, you walk out, you're like, wow, I took 3 steps
Also,
in there, and that was the whole thing.
the United States lost at the Alamo. I don't know why we're like remember the Alamo.
Moral victories, Fred. That's what it's about. What did you think about the Heisman winner, friend,
Fernando Mendoza. I mean,
Fernando
if
Mendoza?
anyone was going to beat Oregon, I would want it to be him. I think he's
Hmm.
a good guy. I think he does. I definitely think he deserved it. Like I do think if Bo Nix had put up was there and put up the stats against this group, he would have won it. But different era.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I think one of the things that was interesting is the entire time they were saying how incredible the stories of all these guys are.
Yeah,
You never hear about how incredible the stories of the guys who are always awesome and are the best players in the world are. Like no one in LeBron's 15th season, no one's like, "Oh wow, you got to hear about LeBron's story about how no one believed in him." Because no, he was LeBron. He was amazing forever.
yeah.
Like you take someone like Tom Brady, maybe for a couple of years you talked about his story as a last draft pick,
Mm,
but now he's just great and you just talk about his greatness. So I think something that happened was in a, potentially down year for as far
mm,
as top level talent in the Heisman, you get all these guys that are really really interesting to hear about. Mendoza's story is great. Pavia's story
yeah.
is great. Sayin just as a sophomore is like a pretty interesting way to start off a career. And then obviously Love is did not quite have that same discussion,
Mm.
and you can notice that their discussions around him were different. But I think they really wanted to focus on the underdog story for this Heisman, which I think was a good idea given there was no clear-cut studs like we sometimes have.
Yeah, I definitely think, especially Fernando and Pavia, like they just had they were true underdog stories. Like neither of them like got D1 offers. Like they both had to work really hard to get to where they are. Start off at different schools. Fernando's career at Cal wasn't that great, but then he went to Indiana. Look at him now.
Yeah.
I got to see Fernando play at Cal when they came up and played Oregon in 2023. Did not go well for him that game.
Really? What happened?
Oh, we absolutely destroyed Cal.
So you're saying if you play Mendoza now, Oregon's going to destroy them because he's just going to keep having flashbacks of that one
That's
game
what
in
I was
Cal.
hoping was going to happen, but Indiana beat Oregon. That's what I was thinking. Like when he came there of Indiana, I'm like a house of horrors. Like remember last time you were here? No, he overcame it, just like he overcomes every piece of adversity in his life.
Yeah, but he throws a pick first, right? Another interesting thing was in all of his comeback wins, he had a big pick right before he scored a touchdown. Feels like he gave teams opportunities to, avoid.
But he always got the last laugh.
True, true. But if you keep throwing picks like that in those big moments, we'll see what happens.
All right, but yeah, also Diego Pavia was very upset he didn't win. Took to social media to say "f all the voters." Uh, Again, not nice guy, but like not the classiest move.
Not the classiest move. That was really his best shot at the pros. Having a Heisman under his belt, I think would have meant more to him than it would have to Mendoza, who is looking like he's going to have an opportunity at the pros by this point. And Pavia is going to be struggling to make it there. He's really good, um, but not everyone makes it to that next leap, even guys who are really good. So I think that this was a big statement for him as well and for his resume. And I can see why he was frustrated, but you gotta be better than that. Like
Yeah.
you can't just you can't flip off all the voters. Those are the people who are gonna vote for the every single thing that you ever do. Of
Also, Mendoza added a Heisman to his LinkedIn profile.
course he did. To his LinkedIn profile, that's the wow, that's incredible.
I mean, I don't think this podcast is even on my LinkedIn profile.
It should be. It
It
should
should
you should make a step one uh like I don't know, a company on LinkedIn.
Step One Productions.
Step one productions. Oh yeah.
So I bet that's already copyright. I bet there's a company called Step One Productions.
But it might not be spelled the same way.
Yeah,
Um it
might
might
not
not
be on
have the same
LinkedIn.
might not be on LinkedIn. Correct.
All right, all right. Well, let's talk a little bit about the NFL. The big story of the weekend, obviously, was Patrick Mahomes gets injured. Chiefs are out of playoff contention. But I think the bigger story is Joe Burrow's been making some noise, and there's speculation. Is this his last year in Cincinnati? Like, it would be hard for him to leave. He's under contract for like the next several years.
So I don't know what actually is possible, but the Bengals are horrible. And he is good, but he's like not consistent. And you put him somewhere like an Indy, um, and he would do some unbelievably fun things, but I don't see how it happens.
Yeah, I think the contract's too complicated. There's no trade clause involved. I do think I think this season was lost because of his injury. If they because they started off 2-0. Like they started off playing well, and then he got injured. But like if they hadn't gotten injured, this season could have gone very differently.
Yeah, but he's injury prone. That happens.
Yeah. And even when that season when he wasn't injured, like look what happened. Like they still didn't make the playoffs.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't really, it's hard to, I can't put my finger on what is wrong there, but there's just something that's just really not working there.
It's just I think they went too heavy on offense. They spent too much money on three guys, and
Mhm.
you got to spend a little money on the defense. Like Like T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are awesome, but like you can't in this day and age, like it's really hard to have them both and pay them that amount of money and still
Hmm.
have a complete team.
Yeah.
Like obviously you can find undervalued talent, and if you draft well, that's awesome. But if you're winning games, you're not gonna like get a high pick to get a good defender.
Yeah, well, they've been in the middle ground of not being good enough to win and not being bad enough to like get the top picks. And they haven't been investing in the right places. And now they're, yeah, I agree. They're just kind of dragging along with what they have.
Anyways, yeah, so it's a mess in Cincinnati, and like so the teams we thought were gonna make the playoffs, like the Chiefs, the Bengals, possibly the Ravens,
Hmm.
they're not gonna. Well, the Ravens could still theoretically make it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be very interesting. It's potentially a corner for the NFL. You've had the teams that were really good for a while, and it's not gonna be the same, but it could still be the Bills' year. They've been held out by the Chiefs every year, and if they slide into the playoffs this year, maybe they don't have to play the Chiefs and now they can win. That would be like a fun redemption arc for Josh Allen in a year where I told you this last week has not been his best year in my opinion. They've won and lost on the legs of James Cook, which I have no problem with. But they might continue to do so, but they could go far now.
I think the Bills. I mean, I think I called it with the. I think I wrote Eagles Bills in my Super Bowl prediction. Let me check.
Ooh, did I have one?
You haven't been on the show yet, but we usually that's our last. That'll be our last question of the show
Okay.
because we always save that for the last. But I predicted Eagles over Bills. The Eagles are going to make the playoffs just because of how bad their division is. But the Eagles aren't even playing that well. The Eagles are beatable.
Yeah, no, nobody's looked unbeatable. The
The Broncos.
Broncos have not looked unbeatable. They've looked good, but they've had a ton of games, a little like the Chiefs last year. They had a ton of games that are a lot closer than their record suggests.
I mean that's right. But again, Bo Nix. I
Bo
think I
Nix.
said it on I said on the first episode of a show when he was still in college. He is a god amongst men,
I
and he is proving himself in the NFL. I never doubted for a second he wouldn't be good in the NFL.
I was a constant doubter, Freddie, and it was mostly because you liked him, and that made me really want to root against him. But he's doing well.
And again, I still think Dylan Gabriel is going to be good in the NFL. I think once he gets off the Browns, he's going to find his job, a place to start, and I think he's going to be really good. He's just on the wrong team,
Um, well, anyone on the Browns is on the wrong team, but
except for Miles Garrett. But even Miles Garrett's on the wrong team.
well, yeah, he still, is considered to have value, but there's literally no one else. Like Judkins all of a sudden stinks. Everyone knows he's talented, but he was just completely useless on this team as well. Like it's just embarrassing.
Yeah, it's not a good time. Like the AFC North, which was supposed to usually the hardest division, is
Hmm.
just not going. It's not going that well in the AFC North. Like the Steelers are meh, the
Hmm.
Ravens are meh, the Bengals are. We talked about the Bengals,
Hmm.
but
I mean, the Browns should have some pieces theoretically. Like Fannon's actually not that bad. Judkins is theoretically talented. Um, Isaiah
Shador is
Bond,
not the savior of that franchise.
he's not the savior of that franchise. I don't think he's the problem. I think they have a lot of problems, but he's definitely not. I don't know. Every quarterback sucked on that team. It's like the Jets. You give the Jets Geno Smith, he's terrible. You give the Seahawks Geno Smith, he's great. And then Raiders, he was bad again. You give Sam Darnold to the Jets. I guess there's a trend here. Sam Darnold to the Seahawks, he's great. Um,
He was good in the Vikings too.
True. He was good on the Vikings as well.
I'm glad the Vikings aren't as good this year. Just makes me feel better. Makes me feel warm inside.
Yeah, how are you feeling after your boy got hurt?
I mean, is Jordan Love still throwing a ball? Yes.
Yeah, but is he gonna have to throw for 800 yards every game?
Uh, he can do it. I know he struggled against a very good Denver defense, but it is Toyotathon, and he plays well during Toyotathon. So,
What, how do you keep track of Toyota?
oh, so it's a well known fact that for some reason when Toyotathon is going on, he just plays lights out. And again, last game disproved that theory. But historically, in his first few seasons, come like December to January when the Toyotathon is on, Jordan Love plays lights out football.
Discount double check?
This
No,
well,
all
no,
right.
that's not Toyotathon, that's State Farm. But he even knows it too. Like he's mentioned during press conferences, he's like, "I'm excited, it's Toyotathon, baby." Like he is well aware of his stats during Toyotathon.
So he was in here. Here's the other fun one. Philip Rivers. Can we talk about him for a second?
Of course,
How do you feel about Grandpa Phil playing in the NFL?
I mean it's great to have grandfathers in the league. I did not have on my bingo card this year that Philip Rivers would come out of retirement and play football. That was not. I thought Ryan Fitzpatrick, sure. Philip Rivers did not have that.
Like, he does not need the money. What is he actually? He's got so many kids.
He's
He's
got 7 or something.
10. He's got 10.
He's got
He has
10.
double digit kids. So maybe he does need the money. But like his
He
need,
needs health insurance.
if he doesn't have a full-time job, he has to pay $8 million a year in health insurance for his 85 family members.
But yeah, I think the Colts. I don't think they're going to win any games with Philip Rivers. I think it's fun.
They're still in the hunt.
They're still
They
they're still not they're still not out of a round, but they got a tough. I mean, let's look at the remaining schedule. I know they play the 49ers Monday night next week, which I don't think they're going to win.
Philip Rivers is going to throw for a staggering 85 yards.
Yeah, they play. Okay, they have a hard schedule. They play the Colts or the Colts play the 49ers. They play
Hmm.
the Jaguars, who are frisky and pretty good.
Yeah,
And
they
then
don't
they
get by
play
early.
the Texans, who have the best defense in the NFL.
Hmm.
So it's not exactly an easy schedule for a 44-year-old grandfather at quarterback.
Who's your dark horse candidate right now?
The Texans.
Texans? All right, I like
I've
that.
watched. I've watched. A, they've had enough primetime games where I'm like, this team might be good.
Hmm.
The Panthers are my dark horse in the NFC because apparently there's like some statistic where like certain things happen. I think it's like one of them is like Jennifer Lopez getting divorced. And then there's one other factor too. It's like the year after that
It's
is
crazy she's
is when the
gotten divorced
Panthers
so many times that this is a metric now.
is when the Panthers make the Super Bowl. So like they're on track to make the Super Bowl. I don't
Hmm.
think they will, but they could easily if they win on Sunday against the Buccaneers, they could win the division.
They could.
And they have a good enough team to win some games. I mean, they did beat the Packers, so they kind of have to be good
You're giving
because
yourself too much credit, buddy.
just giving them too much credit. I think the Packers are the best team in the NFL, but
Yeah, but you've thought that when they were like 1-12 before.
I mean, I have a buddy whose first memory of me, this was probably 2017, was me trying to explain to someone how the Packers could totally make the playoffs in a year where they did not make the playoffs.
That's about as authentic of an introduction as I can think of for you.
It just was like, Aaron Rodgers is going to come back. We're going to win all these games. We're going to make the Super Bowl. None of that happened.
Oh, really? When was the
Yeah.
last time the Packers won?
Packers last won the Super Bowl in 2011. I missed the game.
You missed the game? That's really funny.
Well, we were coming back from a family ski trip, and this was before my Packers fandom impacted our family schedule. So
Okay.
we left a little too late and missed the game.
Yeah.
Caught the end of it. but this is before like I was like a diehard fan. Like I've always been a fan, but this is before like I really was a fan. But yes, I mean it was one of a. It's still a very fond memory.
Well, it sounds like a fond lack of a memory, and I think we need to, get your family's take on this, on what they did to abuse you and make you miss the Packers game.
Yeah, I mean, I think if my dad just wanted to leave later than the game started, something like that, some nonsense. He's the
Some
one. He's the
nonsense.
one from Wisconsin. He should have been rushing to get there.
It's a good point. He should have. Maybe he had that much confidence and you had less confidence.
Maybe, maybe. All right, who are your dark horse teams?
Everyone stopped talking about the Lions.
I don't think the Lions are making the playoffs
They have a shot, don't they?
for a wild card spot, maybe,
Yeah.
but their defense is banged up.
Uh,
Yeah, they play with steel. Okay, it's not an unreasonable schedule. They play the Steelers, who they could
Wait,
beat.
they've got a 45% chance. I'm looking online right now. You're trying to make me seem like I'm crazy. These are the Lions we're talking about. That we know that they could beat every team that's out there.
Their
There's not many
offense
teams.
can beat every team that's out there. The question is, can their defense do the job?
I mean, we don't know, but what we do know is that the team has beaten all these guys. So it gives them a little bit of a better outlook than some of these other teams. Like, let's take the Bears for example. They have a good bright future ahead of them. Am I confident that they can beat these teams in big games? I've seen the Lions do some of this. I've not seen this from the Bears, and it's hard to change culture that quickly. The Lions have already gone through the phases of learning how to compete in big games. And I don't know.
I do think once the Bear, I do think the Bears, and we saw with the Packers, like when it's a big game, and that Packers game was a big game, and this Saturday will be a big game too. Like they're good at like the games of the teams they should be. Like yeah, they beat the Browns. I would say what they do with the Packers and beat the Browns. So there's that.
Yeah, if you lose to the Browns, you officially suck.
Yeah, well, we sucked that week for sure.
Hmm.
But I think once they get to the big, it's a question of can they win the big games. And we saw against the Packers, they couldn't win the big game. And I think this Packers game is also a big game. It's you're playing at home against you're playing at Soldier Field against the Packers. Like you want to win that game. Like when was the last time they won? I think it's been since like 2018 the last time the Packers lost in Soldier Field
Yeah, it's been a tough time to
because
be.
they didn't lose. That's no, because last year they lost. Last year when the Bears beat them was at Lambeau. They haven't lost at Soldier Field in years.
Hmm.
Like we own Soldier Field.
I mean, you literally own it.
I'm a little cocky right now, but Soldier Field is it's our element. It's outdoors. Like the fact that the Bears are moving to an indoor stadium is criminal. Come on, it's the NFC North, and there 3 out of 4 stadiums are going to be indoors soon.
I will say it does not sound fun to watch a game in February in Chicago outdoors.
I mean, you're not
So
playing in February typically, unless you're in the
they're
Super
they're
Bowl.
not playing in February.
I mean, but even in like December and January, it's a little cold.
Yeah, way too cold.
Yeah, but you go to Lambeau, you know they play better in the cold.
I think that's just the people say, oh, they're tough because Green Bay is just too lazy to build a better stadium. I think that's all it
It's
is.
the
It's like
best stadium there is.
no, it's like you're trying to take pride in something so that you don't have to actually fix the underlying problem.
It's a historic stadium. Why would they? If it's perfect the
Like
way it
when it's like
is.
when chicks make daddy issue jokes. Like we know that you have daddy issues, but like just deal with them.
The point is that it's grittier to play in the cold. Like it really represents it's real football weather. I think the fact that like most NFC North teams are steering away from the cold, I think that's just unfortunate. I understand you want your fans to be comfortable and like not be like getting frostbite, but That's part of the fan experience.
That's a warped experience to say that that's part of the fan experience. I
My
bet you
first
any.
experience of a Packers game, it was 24 degrees in November. Scott Tolzien was the starting quarterback.
This is hazing. You're describing hazing.
And
These NFL
wait,
teams
wait, it gets
haze their
better.
fan base.
It gets better. The game ended in a tie. I didn't know. I didn't realize at the time because like I was probably like 13. I didn't know the NFL could end in a tie. So when I see them like all the benches clearing like to shake hands at the end of overtime, I'm like, oh, we're not gonna play another overtime. That's kind of lame.
Uh,
So that was my first experience at Lambeau Field, and I froze my butt off, and it was great. I loved every second of it.
um,
It's part of the experience.
I don't think it needs to be.
And Buffalo's going indoors too. Come on, how can Buffalo Bills fans throw snowballs at opposing players if their stadium is indoors?
Look, they can break tables and play in the snow outside all they want and create the
Drink their
great
Labatt
content.
Blue Light, obviously.
Yeah, and then just go inside and watch a game like a normal person. But
Yeah,
you know,
not
probably a lot more drunk because they're from Buffalo.
yeah. They're drinking a Labatt Blue Light. It's the
Yeah.
best beer ever. Labatt Blue Light. You've never had a Labatt Blue Light?
I've not ever had a bad blue light
Oh, it's popular up in Western New York and all Canada, I believe.
in Canada. So now we're drinking Canadian beers. I
It's a
thought this was
it is a
America's sport. I
it's a
thought this was
Canadian
America's
it's a
sport.
Canadian beer.
I thought this is America's sport, Freddie. I won't have it.
You don't want to drink Labatt Blue Light?
Absolutely not.
It's the best beer. It's not the best beer ever. It's the best beer is
Freddie,
Miller
are
Lite.
you hydrated? Because you have been downing water.
I'm very well hydrated.
You're like 8 jugs of water in. Like I'm just imagining the other side of your camera is just a desk filled with 30 water bottles, and you're like running out of them.
I keep myself very hydrated. You gotta be
Yeah,
hydrated in these crazy times.
I do remember you walking around with a water bottle 24/7 when we were in summer camp.
I used to delay like the family leaving if I didn't have a water bottle. Like I feel generally lost without a water bottle sometimes.
We should You should have brought that water bottle to the Heisman event.
Just well, I was drinking water in between
Excuse me, Mr.
beers.
Tebow.
Just give him a little squirt. You want a hit? No,
He would,
I was drinking water in between beers, trying to stay
yeah.
hydrated, make sure.
If you gave it to Tebow, he'd be happy. If you gave it to Flutie, he'd be disappointed it's not vodka.
Nah, Flutie drinks five. Flutie was telling us about his 5 hour energies.
Yeah, that's impressive for him to still be downing those.
Those are
They
those are
will
dangerous. I
cause
remember
yeah.
when you drank one back in the day, and you're
I used
like,
to have them all the time.
it was
Yeah.
like midnight, and you're like cranking out push-ups.
hmm Why do you, that's the strategy. You just have 5 hour energy and you have no choice but to do tons of push-ups. Otherwise, you're gonna have a heart attack. And you probably have one anyways.
Yeah, it's like legal. It's like legal cocaine. I just gotta do some push-ups, bro.
Oh yeah.
All right. All right, we got about 8 minutes left. Let's talk a little bit about the NBA. Your Knicks,
hmm
NBA Cup champions. Why aren't you hanging the banner in MSG? They've already announced they're not doing it. You're eating that W.
Um, Look, this is a stepping stone. We'll get political here for a second. This is a stepping stone. We've shown that we could win in a tournament setting, in a bracket setting. We don't need to hang the banner because we're gonna get the real banner this year, Freddie. Here we fucking go. We're winning this fucking chip. This is our year. Jalen Brunson is a god. Tyler Kolek is somehow a incredible defender now. Like, oh shit.
You good?
Yeah. Tyler Kolek's a beast. Mitchell Robinson at the beginning of the fourth quarter decided he's just gonna get every single rebound. Like, these Knicks are ready. The Spurs can suck a dick. The Thunder can suck a dick. The Celtics suck. I don't even. Your Celtics are embarrassing. I know you're winning some games, but
We have no Tatum. Of course, we're embarrassing. We don't have the best player on our team.
Yeah. And the Knicks didn't have the best five players on their team in the playoffs 2 years ago and still made it to the second round and gave them a good run for their money.
I thought they played the Pacers that
They gave the
year.
Pacers a good run for their money.
All right, they give the
They made it
Pacers.
to 7 games with Alec Burks as their leading scorer, Freddie. Have the Celtics done anything that impressive?
No, I'll be honest, no. But I think the Celtics. I think when Tam comes back, which is not going to be this year, probably.
hmm Can I just say, Luke Cornett's a dog, and he was so slept on in Boston, and you guys are missing him.
Is he injured?
No, he plays in Spurs.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
how I don't follow the NBA that much. I do an NBA preview once a year, and that's about as much NBA as we do. And then there was the
Mhm.
year where we forgot to talk about the Thunder at all. Then they ended up winning the championship.
It's all right. We don't need to talk about any other teams because the Knicks are winning the championship.
All right, I like your confidence.
This is the year. This is the year. I'm saying it now.
All right, if they make the championship, we'll have you back on. We'll do it a special episode in June just for you to say how happy you are for the next
Here,
one.
Freddie, take a bite. Take a bite. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
are
How
there
about
any
this time? How
are
about
there
this
any
time?
surprise teams?
Come on, Freddie.
Are there any surprise teams that like you're like, wow, that team's good all of a sudden?
Um, Trying to think.
Let me look at the NBA
I
standings.
mean, I do think the Spurs were better faster than I thought they would. Like I was impressed with Stephon Castle's development. Um, I think a couple of teams like got better just faster than I thought. Um, like the the Bulls started off really hot. I know they've kind of cooled down since. But that's still been actually they've completely cooled down. They were killing it. Um,
The Bulls are 10-15. They're 2-8
yeah,
in their last 10.
they I mean they were really good at the beginning. Probably the Raptors also have been good, and they've also been playing with a ton of injuries, which has been interesting.
Who's even on the Raptors right now? Like who's
Um, they got Scotty Barnes, they got RJ Barrett, they got Emmanuel Quickly. But like RJ's been hurt a bunch of games, Quickly's been hurt a bunch of games.
Well, aren't those just a bunch
Um,
of former Knicks players?
yeah, they also got like Jamal Shed. You remember him?
I do not remember Jamal Shad.
Good college player, not too tall. But they've or Brandon Ingram and a former Dookie. So it's been I've followed them a little bit because they've been fun just with all the guys that I've been following for different reasons. Um,
Yeah,
but
like I just like I've not thought about the about the Raptors, and they're like third in the East right now.
yeah, and it is quiet. And again, they have been dealing with injuries too. It's not like everyone else has just been struggling with injuries and that's been their
Yeah.
strength.
Oh, they got Grady Dick too. Let's not forget about the great Grady Dick.
Yeah, you want to talk about that dick? Yeah, you getting off talking about that dick?
All right, but yeah, I just I've not thought much about the Raptors, but again, I don't really do NBA until after the Super Bowl.
That's fine. I'll be waiting for you when you're ready for it. When you
All
want
right,
the Knicks first in the East,
when the
probably
Knicks
not
are
first in
for
the NBA.
who's the coach of the Knicks right now? It's not. I know Thibodeau got fired. Who coaches the Knicks right
Mike
now?
Brown.
Mike Brown. Mike
Yeah, he's a journeyman. He's been
Mike
all
Brown
right.
always has like that first season with a new team. He's always lighting it up. Like he did the same thing with the Kings.
Look, Mike Brown is bringing some energy. Uh, to be honest, I didn't hate Tibbs as much as everyone else, but we did need to move on. I think we had hit our ceiling with him. All due respect, he's great. He brought us a winning culture, and Mike Brown is just something different. Uh, and we'll see what it is, but I feel like it's very much a player-led locker room in a very strong and good way. So I'm feeling good about these Knicks.
All right. Before I let you go, let's talk a little bit about your Super Bowl pick.
All right.
You're entering the contest where the winner gets something.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't decided what the winner gets yet.
Great. So I'm betting for nothing.
I mean, you're betting for pride.
All right. I'm gonna say Rams over Chargers.
Rams over Chargers, a battle of LA. I like it.
Mm-hmm. I think that'll be a fun game. The Chargers are really up and down, so if they can string together a couple of their good games, it would be fun. Um, but the Rams, Puka just every once in a while comes up with a catch that makes absolutely no sense. And they're one of the most balanced teams. So I'm feeling good.
All right. We got about a minute left. You want to just give your quick rant about those Duke boys real quick?
Um, yeah, watch Cameron Boozer. He's averaging pretty much better numbers than Cooper Flag was by this point. Don't think he's as good of an NBA prospect, but he's going to be, uh, his body is so mature, like he's so broad.
Mhm.
Isaiah Evans, hot and cold, but I think best shooter in the country. This Duke team doesn't have the vibes it had last year, but they have a path to victory.
All right, I like it. And if they win it all, we'll if they win it all, we'll talk about it on the podcast. Always great having you on the show. This has been awesome. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, of course. Good to talk to you, Freddie.
Good talking to you too.
Thanks.
All right, we already talked about college football playoff on last week's episode, so we're going to dive straight into the NFL. We got an exciting weekend of games coming up. It all starts Thursday with a fun one, a big NFC West showdown between the Rams and the Seahawks. This game could determine the division winner. Both teams are playing great football. I'm very excited for this game. Moving to Saturday, we got two games. Eagles Commanders is meaningless because the Commanders are not going to the playoffs and the Eagles are going to win that division. But we also got the Packers against the Bears, and that game means a whole lot. I know the Packers beat the Bears the first game, but the Bears are still a good team, and it's going to take a lot of effort to beat them for a second time. And with no Micah Parsons, it just got a lot harder. Moving to Sunday, not a lot of important games, but we got a big one in the NFC South with the Buccaneers and Panthers. I can't believe that is a big game, but it is. They have not played each other yet, so this game could potentially determine who wins the division, or at least whoever wins this game is going to be on top of that division. The Panthers are frisky, and they're becoming a fun team to watch, so this will be an awesome game. Not too many other games to talk about in the afternoon. The Lions could try to keep their slim playoff hopes alive against the Steelers. Jaguars and Broncos will be a fun game. Both teams are playing really well right now. And we'll see if the Broncos can keep the win streak alive. Moving to Sunday night, we got Patriots and Ravens. The Patriots need a bounce back win, and the Ravens are in must win mode if they want to keep their slim chances of winning division alive. And on Monday night, we will see Philip Rivers in primetime, which is not something I thought I would say this season, as the Colts take on the 49ers. I know it's fun to see Philip Rivers play and all, but I don't think it's enough to beat the 49ers. They're a really good team. That's our show for this week. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back next week. Big Fred, over and out.